Hey everyone, I'm Laurie Maxon from Your Essential Insights. And today I want to talk to you about goal setting. So I hope that you're ready. I want you to grab yourself a piece of paper, notepad, and pencil or pen because we're going to get started. I'm going to give you some great ideas so that you can get started on setting your goals and actually hitting them. What we're going to talk about first is what every business and person wants to know about goals and how to actually achieve them. And this is a process I'm going to take you through because there's probably missing pieces right now in what you're currently doing and why you may not be hitting your goals. We're going to talk about what a goal is and what it isn't. And then we're going to address some critical questions that you need to be asking yourself. This is one of those spots that truly most people neglect to do, and this is the cause of breakdown. It has nothing to do with you being lazy or not being able to really commit yourself. This is where the goals will fall apart and your desires will. And so that's one of the issues that we're really going to talk about and hit today. Then we're going to talk about the answers and how your answers to those questions will bring direction for you. When we set goals, we have to have direction because without direction, you don't know where you're going, and it's most likely you're not going to hit the goals. We're going to also talk about your required next moves because, once again, once you have direction, we've got to take action on it. And this action is going to move you forward. Then I'm going to give you some takeaways with you so that this has become implanted in your head and that you can now begin setting your goals and accomplishing them. So what is a goal? Well, let's talk first about what it isn't. It's not just wishful thinking. It's not just something that you want to do or want to have. It's not a dream and it's not a possibility. Okay? One of the other things, it's not a New Year's resolution. So many of us set New Year's resolutions without all these other steps in line, and that's why we don't hit them. Well, why does it matter? Well, it matters because you need to know what a goal is before you can actually set one. A goal is actually that desire to achieve something. If you don't have that desire, you're most likely not going to hit your goals. It is a need, not a want. Wants are wishy-washy. That means you're sitting on the fence. You haven't made a commitment. When you need something, you take action on it. You get it. That's why the next one is goals are actions. If you don't have an action plan, if you don't know what you're going to do, you're not most likely going to take any action. And I'm going to tell you this too. When you set a goal, if you don't have at least one step that you are taking within 24 hours, you will not ever reach your goal. I should say, I don't like to say ever or never, but 99% of the time you will never reach it. And it's because that commitment requires you to do something within 24 hours. A goal is a result. You know, when we're setting goals, we have to think about what the result is that we want for ourselves. Because if you don't have that picture, as I'm going to talk to you in a minute, you're not going to be able to hit it. It's also an outcome. And I don't think anybody sets a goal for anything if they don't have a desired outcome. Knowing what that outcome is, having it documented, having it in front of you is going to help you achieve it. It also is a commitment. Like I said, it's not a want, it's not a possibility. You have to be committed. Now, if you look at what I have down here, those words, these are powerful words and they're there for a reason because one leads to the next. You know, when you have a desire, when you are truly, have this desire to accomplish something, you become committed. It becomes a need and you want to take action on it. So here's those words again. I have them laid out in front of you because I want you to also write these down for yourself. It's a desire, it's a need, it's an action, it's a result, it's an outcome, it's a commitment. Just saying those words should empower you. Okay, so that's why I want you to keep them in front of you. Now, as I was talking to you, we have to have questions that we're asking ourselves about the goals. One of those is, how do we determine whether it's a need or it's just a want? Well, we ask ourselves why. Because when you ask yourself why you need to accomplish something, or why you want to, let's say, lose weight, why you want to exercise, you are bringing in your subconscious mind to start delivering you results. If we don't have a why behind our goal, it becomes wishy washy. It becomes something that we don't really care if we do. That why is what is going to bring about that desire, that need, that action. So it's critical for you to always ask yourself, when you think of something in your mind that you want to set a goal for, ask yourself why you want to do it. Why do you want to accomplish whatever that is? And spend time here. This is where I think we kind of get screwed up. We forget to ask ourselves those questions. When you do that, it becomes a part of you, and it lets your subconscious know, hey, I'm serious about this. I need to do it. And your brain, it's a beautiful thing, but we often don't allow ourselves the time necessary to come up with that why answer. That why answer is what's going to help you through this goal process. So here's the questions. Why do or why does I or my company need to accomplish in whatever your goal is? So write that down, because even if you're not going to complete this here, I'd like you to, because I think it'll help you to establish where we're going here and make it more concrete. But if not, just make sure you copy this down. Asking yourself, why do I need to accomplish whatever it is? What is your goal? And write it in there. And then if you're working alongside me here today, I want you to pause the video and take as much time as you need to answer that why. Remember, I said you can't just answer it very quickly, because it's really it's something that you're not used to, and you really need to give yourself some time to identify it, so that you have a clear picture of it. Okay? So go ahead, pause the video, and then come right back after you have your answer. Great. Okay, here's the next question. You already wrote down what your goal was. If not, once again, you can write this question down, and then you're going to come back and make sure that you complete these steps. Well, you have your why now. So what is important to you or your company in achieving it? What is important to you or your company in achieving it? Now, I know this question sounds weird, and you're probably saying, well, why didn't you ask that a different way? Well, here's why. When we ask ourselves how or when, we limit our thinking to what we know. So that's going to limit the steps that you're going to be able to identify. The what question opens your thinking, because it's almost looking for new creative ideas. So when I ask you what is important to you, I want you to really think about that. And notice that the only two words I have in here are you or your. We cannot set goals that are going to involve another individual meeting some kind of expectation. And the reason is, we cannot control that. We cannot control their outcome. So when you ask yourself any kind of goal or question relating to your goal, it has to be you. So your response must be, I desire blah. And so make sure that it's not like, well, if my husband or if my wife or if my kids would do that, we can't do that. It has to just be focusing on you. So take as long as you need here, because sometimes, quite honestly, when I do this, it's hard. It's hard to get beyond looking out at somebody else and just focusing on me. So, but that's what I want you to do right here. And I want you to write out everything that's coming to your mind. Because when we ask that what question, there could be a number of different things. And I don't want you to limit it to just one. So take your time and really focus on that question and write down anything that is coming to mind, because that's all a part of the steps in helping you achieve your goal. So go ahead, once again, pause the video here and then come on back when you're ready. All right, great. I really hope you spent a lot of time there. If not, please go through this again and make sure that you have a good list there, or one that you feel comfortable with. You feel like, yep, this is it. If not, if you kind of tried to cheat and go quickly, go ahead back. All right. So now, what does the end goal look like? I want you to really get a clear picture here. So let's say you want to start exercising. That's your goal. Well, what's important to you in it? Maybe what's important to you is that you want to be at your best health. Maybe it's that you want to tone. Whatever those responses were, now I want you to say, okay, well, what is it going to look like for me? Because if you don't have a picture of what it's going to look like, it's really hard to achieve it. Let's look at it this way. Let's say you want to buy a new home. Well, would you ever go on the market without having some kind of idea of what you want? Maybe it's a two-story, maybe it's a ranch, maybe it's on an acre. You are going to have a clear picture of it. Or maybe you're going out for a company party or a wedding, and you want to look good in a black dress. Well, don't you want some kind of idea what that's going to look like, so that when you go in there exactly what you're looking for? That picture that you have in your mind tells your subconscious, hey, this is what we want. Okay, so figure it out. Tell me how to do this. Your subconscious is so powerful that the more information you deliver to your brain, and that's writing it down, saying it out loud, getting that clear picture, the more data it has, the more ability it has to deliver you the results and the steps that you need to take to get it. Make sense? Okay. So you asked yourself the questions. Now I want you to focus here. What I also have a lot of my clients do is draw a picture. Draw a picture of what you want. And like I said, make a list of every detail, because that picture that you have, if you take that additional step and actually draw it, and if you're like me, it's going to be stick figures, or, it's not going to look like anything, but draw it the best you can and post it somewhere. Or take a picture of, if it's something in your closet, guys, girls, there's something that you want to get back into, take a picture of it, or pull out a picture that you had of yourself. Keep this idea, the picture, the what are you wanting, the why, all in front of you, because you need to continue to focus on it. All right. It needs to become real for you. All right. So go ahead, pause, take care of that, draw your picture, write it out, whatever you need to do, and then come on back. Great. All right. So here's the required next move. On this side, you have your list of ideas of what your end result's going to look like. All right. I want you to really focus on the outcome. Then when you see it, I want you to also be thinking about, how do I feel? How does it make me feel? Because as you were going through this, after you drew that picture, you had that list of what you wanted it to look like. I want you to focus. Focus now on the outcome. How is it making you feel? And I know this sounds crazy, but if you focus on, just close your eyes and picture that end result, picture you there already, picture you having it, attaching those powerful emotions to what you need and what you see creates the desire and the commitment, which are both required for you to reach that goal. So I want you to attach those powerful emotions onto that paper. Write out what you're feeling. What is it going to feel like for you to actually, not only see that, but to achieve it? So that's why I say list out your power words. I'm trying to give you a quick example off the top of my head. Let's say I want to be promoted. I'm working towards a promotion. Well, if I pictured myself in front of my boss, perhaps, or on a stage getting an award or whatever it would look like, I could envision myself feeling like a leader, feeling confident, feeling like I've achieved something great. I can see those emotions, and I'm going to attach that. So now, especially with confidence, confidence is a huge one. So if I am feeling confident and I write that down every time I look at that, and I actually have a rock on my desk that says confidence. Why? Because everything I want to do, I want to be confident that I am delivering my authentic self. I am delivering value, and I want to be confident in that. So that's one of my power words. I don't know what yours are, but as you're picturing that goal, I want you to focus on it and allow those emotions to come to surface, and then write them down. Go ahead, pause the video and get out your power words. All right, perfect. Well, now you are ready for action. So you have, as you can see, what we've done here is completely different than probably any SMART goals or anything else that you've used in the past. Brendon Burchard, who I follow, he's an expert in the marketing field. He calls them dumb goals, and I don't remember what they all stand for, but basically the idea is, don't limit yourself with SMART goals. SMART goals can limit where your thinking goes, and we all have the ability to be creative and create things that we've never even dreamed possible. But that's because we've limited, our brain capacity and what we tell our brain. What you've just done with these steps is you have opened up your thinking, and you are allowing new ideas to come in. So now that you have all that, you have these emotions, you have that clarity on what you want, what is your brain telling you? What steps will you put in place today to reach your goal? Remember, I told you at the beginning, you have to take an action, even if it's one action, within 24 hours. So, based on your goal, based on what you see, what's one thing that you can put in place within the next 24 hours? Hey, if you're able to take more than one steps, write those down, but be sure that you will actually do them. Okay? So then I want you to look at your steps, and beside each one, as these are coming, as your brain is saying, hey, here's another one, I want you to write down when you will start each one. Okay? You need to, because this is a part of commitment. All right? What we've just done here is we've created the desire. We see those results. We know what outcomes that we're wanting. We are committed. It is a need now. So make sure that every one of those steps, you know when you're going to start them. But like I said, at least one must be taken now. Okay, within 24 hours, you need to take one step. Now, that doesn't mean that for the rest of the week, for the next 7 days, you don't have to do anything. You need to have a plan because this is where you are going to start reaching goals. I want to thank you all. I know that you have spent some time with me. I tried to make it quick, but I really needed to give you these different things that are going to help you achieve goals. Stop thinking in the past. You've just learned some great new steps that are going to take you forward, and I want you to begin using them. Share this with your family, share it with your friends, write these down. Every one of those steps that I told you, make sure you're writing those down and you're keeping them in front of you. I'm really excited that you are learning this and that you're going to be applying it. I know your time is valuable and I appreciate it. I really, really do. And I want you to succeed. I want you to start achieving every goal you set. All right. I'd love to hear from you. So if you are setting goals and, putting them into action, hey, let me know. Let me know so that your story can now be a testimony for somebody else to achieve theirs. Okay? That's what life's about. It's what we learn, we put into action, and we share that with somebody else because somebody else is going to be where you were, and I want them to succeed like you. Thank you again, guys. I appreciate you. I'm glad you were here, and I hope you found value in this. Have a good one.